Good morning. Good morning. How are you on this awesome Tuesday? How are you on this awesome Tuesday? Thank you so much for joining me on this morning. We're going to give it just a few more seconds for people to join in. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me on this morning. If you can just take a moment, share and tag and share, I greatly appreciate it. I thank you so much once again for being a part of this awesome word that we are about to share with the people of God. I am Pastor Deidre Samuel McLeod. I'm the pastor of Divine Destiny Ministries. I am also the online facilitator for the Daughters of Zion Women's Ministry. I noticed that some people have been sending in requests to join, and I thank you so much for wanting to be a part of what God is doing excuse me, on today. Just a quick word to share with you. Go. I've been praying, I've been thinking, I've been going back and forth about the command that has been upon my life. And if you all are anyway close to me, or thinking about your future, thinking about the things that God has spoken over your life, I know that it has been heavy on you. Leading into the year of 2024, everybody been talking about the year of more. We've been talking about the year of exposure, how God is going to expose people that have not been doing right, and we already been seeing that firsthand. And God is also going to be doing a great exposure of raising up some people that have looked like they have not been having an opportunity, look like they've been looked over. Good morning, Overseer Burt Wright. How are you on this morning? But I want to share a word with you, a prophetical word that the Lord gave me, entitled Go is a command to action. You got to understand that when God give you a command, God is not saying don't do nothing with it. Just sit there. Don't move. Don't say nothing. God has given you a command of action. When growing up, I remember my mom would say, get up and go do something. And sometimes we'll sit around and we'll wait and don't move immediately. And all of a sudden, we get reprimanded. Why? Because she has already given a command. She told us to do something. And so when God is saying to us, go, we're trying to figure out all the details. God, you didn't give me no more instruction. God, you didn't tell me where to go. God, you didn't tell me how to do it. You didn't tell me none of that. But all you said was go. And God is saying to us on today that I have given you a command and you're waiting on the details. You're waiting on all the other stuff that come behind it. And what I've asked you to do now is simply go. Put your feet into action, and all the other details will become behind what I have already told you to do. You got to understand that when you begin to operate off the first word that God give you, automatically other instructions come behind it. Riding in your car with the GPS. The GPS give you the direction. It give you the first thing that you got to do out of the yard. But if you don't move off the first directions, I'm telling you right now, nothing else comes behind it until you operate off the first thing that it already have given you to do. Now, you cannot follow Jesus and stay where you are all at the same time. Either you're going to follow him or either you're not. But you cannot say that I'm following Jesus and you don't plan to move your feet. If you begin to ask God to give you instructions on what to do, how to do, when to move, how to move, you got to be ready in order to move your feet. You can't stay in the same place doing absolutely nothing, but you steady asking God to give you more. It's not possible. God requires movement in the direction he is now sending you to do. I can't ask for God to do more with divine destiny if I don't plan to move my feet. I can't ask God to do more with the life of the prophet if I can't first trust him in order to move my feet. I can't ask God to do more with Beautiful You Salon or do more with Daughters of Zion if I don't plan to move my feet. Why ask for more if you ain't doing nothing with what God has already given you to do? But it's much easier I must say it's much easier to stay in a place of familiar. I can stay in a place of familiarity because I know doing nothing requires nothing. I hope somebody caught that. Doing nothing requires nothing at all. I don't have to worry about being ridiculed. I don't have to worry about people talking about me. I don't have to worry about people laughing at me. If I fail, I don't have to worry about none of that stuff. Why? Because I ain't doing nothing at all. Have you noticed that people love the people that hang on the corner doing nothing at all? They love the people that ain't got nothing. They ain't trying to build nothing. They ain't trying to go nowhere. They love them. Oh, they down. They really cool. All the people ain't doing nothing. But everybody that took a chance and took a leap in order to walk in faith, those are the people that they talked about the most. When God says go, we face one of life's greatest decisions. We face the decision is, God, am I going to be able to make it? We face the biggest decisions is, God, who gonna support me? We face the biggest decision is, God, am I good enough? Am I qualified enough? God, will people show up on my lives? God, will people show up to my church? God, will people show up to my business? God, will people show up? God, how am I gonna be able to make it? And God is saying, you worrying about stuff that I ain't never told you to worry about. All I told you to do was go. Now I'm gonna give you what go looks like. Go, when God says go, it means surrender, release, and let it go. Because God, I'm trusting and believing in you. God, when you say go, that means that I gotta surrender all to everything that Dee Dee knows. And now I'm surrendering totally in the arms of you. Why? Because God, I gotta trust the fact that you know what's best for me better than what I know what's best for me. Two, giving up my desire for my needs to be met, to be known for community or for encouragement. That means that my desire for my needs to be met got to be over. Because I gotta now start functioning off of what God told me to do. Because I know that if I walk in the things that God has spoken of me, somebody just asked me today, how do you know to still give your tithe when you ain't got enough to pay your light bill? And I said, because I don't wait to pay all my bills and then I tithe. I tithe first because I'm believing if I take care of God's house, God is now going to take care of mine. So my going can't be worried about only about my needs being met, because I know that if I start operating in the things that God has spoken over my life, God going to take care of me anyway. Anyway, step out and follow an unwavering faith, even though you don't fully know where you are going or whether you will see the results. When Noah began to build the ark, I'm sure everybody was around him was like, Noah, what you doing? There ain't no rain. No rain ain't coming. There ain't a cloud in the sky. And you building the ark. Okay. All right, you go ahead with that. But guess what Noah kept doing? Because God told him to go. Moses was told to go get the children of Israel, to go get the Israelites from out of Egypt. He had a command. He had a command in order to go. My faith might say, God, I don't know. I don't even know how to handle Pharaoh. But Lord, but because you said the great I am told me to go, God, I'm operating off of you, what you told me. God, if you told me to start the school, God, I'm gonna start the school. God ain't got the credentials. God ain't got the money. God knows I ain't got it. But God, I'm trusting and believing in you that God, that you're gonna send people in my direction and help me to be able to fulfill the assignment on my life. When I'm telling you, when God tell you to go, I have to keep going back, because even when I was writing this up, I remember when the Lord was telling me and dealing with me about going forth to go pastor. And I said, God, who gonna who gonna come to the church? God at 8 o'clock. God kept saying 8 o'clock. God, people don't be on time for 10. And God, you gonna tell me to start a service at 8 o'clock? God, who coming? And then my husband was already saying, babe, I already see the other struggles that the other pastors go through, and God calling you to do that, man. If we do you know what kind of pressure we gonna be up under? Man, come on. Baby, we ain't even got enough money to start no church. Baby, where the people coming from? And all this stuff. Yep. And he was in my ear. And because I love him, absolutely, I was giving ear to everything that he was saying. But God kept saying to me, go. Go. When all the churches were shutting down for COVID, and I was like, God, people telling me that I ought to shut down. God kept saying, go. Go. Well, and I was like, God, this one got COVID, and that one died from COVID, and God, this one got COVID, and God, this one right here. God kept saying, go. I'll cover you. Go. I'll take care of you. Go. I'll send the people that you need. Go. Have faith. Go. Faith ain't what you see. Faith is what you don't see. But all I need for you to do is just go. And I kept saying go. I kept saying, what if? What if I fail? God, what if I fall? God, what if people laugh at me? God, what if people talk about me? God, what if? What if? I kept giving God all the what ifs, and God kept saying, go. Go. Because see, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. I don't see it, but all I know is that I gotta go. All I know is I gotta go. I got an urgency down on the inside of me to go and to move and operate, even when there ain't nobody else showing up, even when nobody else don't believe, even when nobody else ain't sowing, even when nobody else ain't up praying, even when nobody else ain't saying, God, I don't see it. God ain't had no conversation with nobody else. God had a conversation with you, and God told you to go, even when you don't feel encouraged, even when you feel discouraged, even when you disappointed, even when you're being laughed at, even when you're being persecuted. God still have given you a word, and it says, go. Go. Now, he said, obedience always brings blessings. In Deuteronomy, it talks about the blessings of God. The blessings of God it comes off of obedience. It don't come off of whether man like you. It comes off of your obedience of being faithful and committed to God. So even when you don't understand, even when you don't have nobody else that got your back, even when nobody else calls to encourage you or send you messages or saying, I believe in what you're doing. If nobody else don't do it, all I know is that I got a word that say go, because I understand that blessings comes out of my obedience, and out of my disobedience means that I got to be cursed. So in order to receive the blessings of God, I got to move off of obedience, even when nobody understands. You'll go. You'll go. You'll go. Even if you only have the audience of one, if nobody else shows up but one, we be looking for the crowd. We be looking, God, where the people at? God, 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 what going on? I know you sent me out here to do. I know you told me to go. Do you know how many times I got up at early in the morning to show up to my 8 o'clock service, trusting, knowing that I got the word go, and how discouraging it has been to look around and not see the chairs full after going on 4 years in ministry, and 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 all the seats still ain't full. Do you know how discouraging it is when you know that you got a word that says go, and and you look for the people to encourage you, they ain't there? Do you know how discouraging it is to show up, to give it your all, and you be like, I'm all excited, and I'm overwhelmed with a word that I know that God gave me off of go, and the people like a deer stuck in headlights. Do you know what it feel like to still saying that I know that I got a word? When you know that you got a word, listen to me, it ain't gonna always feel good. It ain't gonna always sound good. It ain't gonna always be celebrated by many. You ain't gonna always get the clapping of hands. You ain't gonna always get the pats on your back. But you gotta trust in the word that the Lord said Even when people try to make you doubt, you got to know without a doubt that God told you to go, to go, to go. Go wasn't ever a big, a big community conversation. It was personal. It was personal. It was personal because God knew what he was calling you to do. He knew what he has commanded over your life to do. And doing go sometimes is hard. Go sometimes will make you cry. Go sometimes will make you want to quit. Go sometimes it make you question, am I really hearing from God? But you still got to go. Have the audience of one. As long as I satisfy God, I already know I'm already doing his will. I know I'm using me. I like to use me as an example, so I don't step on nobody's toes, so nobody won't be offended and say I said nothing. Now, but I want to tell you that if nobody shows up, Sister Lakeisha Myrick, go. If nobody else supports you, Shanika Hammond Brown, go. If nobody gets on your lives, Evangelist Letitia McLeod, do it anyway. If nobody show up to your church, Pastor Shanice Covington, do it for God. Do it for God. Do it. Do it. Do it. And go. Not everyone will understand because it's not for everyone to understand. But as long as you got clear instructions, all you know is that you heard the word go, Sister Lacey. That's all you need to do is go. Where you going? I don't know. How long you gonna be there? I don't know. What you gonna do when you get there? I don't know. All I know is that God told me to go. And because God told me to go, evangelist, I'm gonna go even if I have to go by myself. Check this. But God reminded me on this morning, you are never alone when I told you to go, Sister Tanya, because I will never leave you, nor will I ever forsake you. Because go. Yes, God. And I'm out here doing it scared. God told me to start host my classes. He told me to host my classes, focus on my classes more than I focus on who sits in my chair. And I've been pushing it, pushing it. What God, is anybody coming? But guess what? Go. If nobody register but one person, go. I'm going. I'm going. If nobody takes the course but one person, go. Because I got to understand that I got to crawl before I'm ever able to walk. And if God see me trusting him in the go, he'll command everything else to now follow behind me. Why? Because I trusted him in the place where nobody else thought that God was ever in. You got to trust him even when you can't trace him. All you got to know is that I got to go. My last point is go looks different for everyone. Your go won't look like mine, and my go won't look like yours. But trust and believe that all of us got to go. None of us can't go and stay in the same place at the same time. Trust him in the crawl. Come on. Come on, First Lady. Trust him in the crawl. And right now, you got to trust him in the crawl. I got to trust him in the crawl. Because if you never, ever tried, you would never know how far you can get. Trusting him in the go. It don't look the same for everyone else. One of my clients said to me, how many members do you have now? And I proceeded to tell her proudly. And she said, well, my son, he got over 300 and some members on the roster. I said, your son go and my go wasn't the same. God told me to go and plant a church. Your son went to a church that was already established, probably about 300 years. So if he got 300 members, he didn't have to build the church and grow the ministry at the same time. His go and my go is not the same. I want to talk to some people that had to start from ground zero, off of your go. There was no silver spoon in your mouth. There was nobody to give you thousands of dollars to start what you're doing. You started off from zero. Goose egg. There was nobody. There were family members. There were friends that never left their church to even help you to come, even lift a hand to even help do what you're doing. There ain't nobody. I got friends that never, that once I started my salon spa that I have now, have only came maybe once or twice and started going to other people because they was not a part of the whole. But I still had to trust God and believe that this is what you called me to do. So I step out in it. So I want to say to all the folk, go. Go. It won't be the people that you thought that would support you. It won't be the people that you thought would clap for you. It won't be the people that you thought that would encourage you. But I'm telling you, if God told you to go, go. Because I'd rather please the audience of one. G, capital G-O-D, capital G-O-D, than to get the applause of many. Because people will clap for you today and they will yell, crucify you on tomorrow. So I say to you, go. My course is coming up April 13th. If you have not already registered, I'm telling you, register. If you want to get your voice back, if you want to go full throttle in ministry in the thing that God has called you forth to do, I'm telling you, I'm all in. I'm all in. Some people say that I can't do the investment right now, Pastor Deidre, for $350. But listen, I got payment plans. Payment options are on the table. Just take a leap. I'm telling you, if you take a leap and inbox me and say, hey, Pastor Deidre, I don't have it all, but I wanna take your course. Because listen, I've been on mute too long. I want to help the folk that's been on mute to give you your voice back. To help you to know that God is calling you to do a thing. That hey, you might not be called to the pulpit, but you might be called to your family. And because you called to your family, I'm telling you, that's a different whole kind of wolf that you got to fight other than the people that I'm out there fighting. So listen, no excuses. Absolutely, evangelist. Join my course, 350, April 13th through May 11th. But guess what? We also got, not only would you be getting a course, not only would you get mentorship from me, not only would you get a push, not only would you get the encouragement to be able to open your mouth and so much more. Also, I've added a piece, May 16th. I think it's May 25th, the prophetic prayer breakfast. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, it's going down. I told God yes to the go, and I'm going. If nobody else is in the room but me and God, I told God that I would go. Because listen, I'd rather satisfy Him and please Him than if I don't please and satisfy nobody else. Register. Register today. April 13th through May the 11th for the course. It's a 5-week course, 5 Saturdays out of the month. And the 6 weeks of the course comes the prophetic prayer breakfast. If you register the 350, the prayer breakfast comes with it. But if you just register just for the prayer breakfast, that's $50. And that's all you come to. It's just on that Saturday. But I'm telling you, come to it all. Because I'm telling you, you will be blessed. I'm set and ready on go. I'm lacing up my shoes right now. Why? because I'm operating off of go. Where you going? I don't know. How long you gonna be there? I don't know. But all I know is I got a word to go, and I'm making it, and I'm making it happen. Whether you go with me or not, I made I made it my business to answer the call that's upon my life in order to go forward. Absolutely, Sister Tanya, it's a sacrifice. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Absolutely, evangelist. It comes with instructions, activations, encouragement. Register now. You you won't regret it. You won't regret it. I don't know, but I have to go. Absolutely, absolutely. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. I don't know how long I'm gonna do it. But all I know is I got to do it. And I'm operating off of go. I pray that this has been a blessing to you. Look, we're taking a rest on today. We're taking a sabbatical on today. There is no Bible study at Divine Destiny Ministries. But I pray that on today that you have been blessed. I pray that you got what you needed for Quick Word Tuesday. Hey, join us Friday morning at 6 a.m. as I go forth in prophetic intercession, and join us Sunday morning at 7:30 a.m. as we go forth in prophetic intercession prayer that morning before we get started at our 8 a.m. service. I hear the Lord calling you, Sister Lakeisha Myrick. I hear the Lord calling you. Answer the call. Answer the call. It might not be where you want to go, might not be what you want to do, but I'm telling you, God is calling you to go forth in it. Make it happen. Make it happen. Tell him yes. Go forth and to go. I know it's a strange place. I know it's a strange land for you, but I'm telling you, I hear just as clear as I'm talking right now. You got to answer to the go. Have an awesome and wonderful day, and to God be all of the glory.